Monday Night Raw took place tonight in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, going back to my SmackDown review, I talked about the releases that were first breaking last Friday night, and I said that if more releases happened over the weekend that I would talk about it during my Raw review, and unfortunately, that did happen. First, there was Isla Dawn, who was released, and that really surprised me because she's in a tag team, and they don't have many tag teams for their women's division. And I like her presentation with Alba Fire, and whenever they'd have them work together as champions, Isla Dawn always seemed like the one that they wanted to push more. She would get the wins, and she got the securing pinfall that won both her and Alba the tag team titles at Scotland at the Clash of the Castle last year. That was a great moment for them, definitely the highlights of both their careers. And Isla was released, Alba Fire was not. Doesn't surprise me too much because she is very valuable in NXT. She can work with a lot of the talent. She's a better worker than Isla Dawn. And I don't want to say it's necessarily sympathy. She had a horrible tragedy last year when her mother passed away about 2 weeks or so before she won the tag team title in her home country. So I don't know if that's the reason, but they unfortunately are to Isla Dawn. Then there was also the news that really this one surprised me, that they fired Elektra Lopez. I did not expect this. The reason being is we saw Elektra Lopez on SmackDown. We saw Legado del Fantasma, and she actually got into, I think it was in the face of one of the Motor City Machine Guns. She was on the show. We saw Elektra Lopez. I was shocked that they actually got rid of her. I was not expecting them to fire her. That one, it didn't make any sense to me. I guess I would, if I were like Legado del Fantasma, people in that faction, I'd probably be worried right now. So those two releases surprised me, and that just added to more of the people who they decided to get rid of, unfortunately. Also, last night, we have to talk about it. I did talk about it during SmackDown. I gave my predictions for the game. I said the Eagles would beat the Chiefs. I didn't sound too confident about it, but judging by what happened last night, I definitely made the right choice. So that's what happened in the Super Bowl last night. The Eagles really beat up the Chiefs. Now, this show started off with Jey Uso. He kicks off the show with another yeet. I am just so tired of the yeet. And Gunter jumps him, and he beats him down. I'm thinking to myself, thank you, Gunter. There's people online who are all spiritually chanting thank you, Gunter, in unison when that happened. Now, after that happens, Jey officially challenges Gunter at WrestleMania. We got our first match confirmed. He does a dive onto Gunter. They break it up, and that's it. So Jey Uso, unfortunately, he will beat Gunter at WrestleMania to win the World Heavyweight Championship. They showed highlights from Io Sky against Liv Morgan last week and how Rhea accidentally cost Io the match. They show Kathy Kelly backstage interviewing Rhea Ripley. She says Charlotte is stalling on who she's choosing. Then you had Io Sky and Dakota Kai interrupt her. Io says she's coming for Rhea. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Damage control. Wow. I was not expecting to like this match as much as I did. They went out there and they had a damn good tag team women's match. I was entertained, and one thing that really added to the match was Liv Morgan being busted wide open. She's bleeding. It's a cut right, I think, on her eyelid or on the side of her eyelid, and it's painful to look at because the blood kept coming down. You'll sometimes see it like an MMA fight when a fighter gets cut around there and you see like blood trickling down her face. You saw on Liv, and it's just not normal to see a woman bleeding, especially like a really attractive, cute girl like Liv. So that definitely added to the match, and you just don't see that often. Io was the star of the match, however. She's awesome. She's great. She's the best women's wrestler in the whole company. I really hope she gets rewarded at WrestleMania this year because she is awesome. And her and Dakota got the win. They showed highlights from last week when Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn, gave him the package pile driver. Announcers explained Sami's injured. Then you had Lyra Valkyria and Bayley heading to the ring. They showed Roxanne Perez in the crowd, and wow, she is a cute woman, young woman. She's only 23. She's really, really cute. Is that okay to say about Roxanne? I think we can all agree on that. I saw on her Instagram that she was in Nashville this week, and I'm thinking to myself, what are they really doing with her? Why does she have to be there? I get it. They're trying to build up her match next week with Raquel Rodriguez. I'm thinking to myself, that the fucking size discrepancy is insane next week. I don't think that's a good spot for Roxanne. Now, Roxanne, I think she's going to beat Raquel, and she will then go to the Elimination Chamber. And this is very comparable to last year with Tiffany Stratton when she had her first match in the Chamber and she was super over. In Australia, Roxanne's going to Canada, another foreign country. They're probably going to cheer her a lot, and hopefully she has the same success that Tiffany has, and I think she will. But I don't know if this is the best way. I'm thinking, why even fly her out to Nashville just to be in the crowd? Anyway, I guess it's not much far from Orlando. But she was there, and the match of Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, not that good. I mean, these two are really good. I like Bayley. Bayley's a solid worker. She is a little bit slowed down a bit last few months, it seems. She's just not the same as she used to be. She's had several knee injuries, though. But Lyra, not her best showing. Bayley got the win, so she pins the Intercontinental Champion. Lyra, you hope she faces Becky, but we haven't seen any sign of Becky returning. Maybe they're saving her until after the Chamber, but we're waiting. We're all waiting for that, and that's a big match for Lyra at WrestleMania. If she doesn't get Becky back, she might miss the show. She might just put in some random match on the night after WrestleMania on Raw. We had a Penta video package, and so actually Bayley, I forgot to mention, the previous match Bayley got the win with a roll-up, and she's in the Chamber. We got a Penta video package. He wrestled on Main Event tonight. It's not a big deal because they're having a match next week with him and Pete Dunne, so having him wrestle one match on Main Event isn't a huge deal. Ludwig Kaiser is interviewed by Jackie Redner backstage. Pete Dunne's pissed off at him. He says he's going to destroy Penta next week. Then we see AJ Styles heading to the ring. We see backstage Lyra Valkyria is confronted by Ivy Nile, and this was in the middle of American Made and the Alpha Babes yelling at each other backstage. And when I saw Maxine Dupree, I'm thinking to myself, I would have kept Elektra Lopez, Isla Dawn, Blair Davenport all over her. I'm not calling for anyone to lose their job, but she's horrible. She's horrible in the ring, man. I don't understand why they keep this girl around. There's nothing to her. She's awful. Now, we have AJ Styles going to a standing ovation in Nashville, Tennessee. No surprise. TNA crowd, they remember him. Big star in Nashville. During the early days of TNA, so they love him here. They're cheering him like crazy. He's the most over person on this whole show, and that including the show had some stars on it, but AJ Styles, man, he was the star of Raw. Everyone loved him. And then he had Dom and Carlito interrupt, and they just hate them. They hate Dom, especially. They boo him like crazy. Every time he talks, he just gets mega heat. It's insane. It's a great segment. It eventually leads to a fight. Dom's out of the ring, and AJ hits a phenomenal forearm to Carlito, another guy. I don't want to keep talking about people getting fired, but I wouldn't want to check my phone if I'm Carlito anytime soon. Anyway, Dom retreats, and AJ stands tall. That sets a match with them next week. Jackie Redmond ends up stands, and she's interviewing Seth Rollins. The fans chant his song, and I'm thinking Seth is supposed to be a heel. He doesn't seem like a heel at all after what he did to Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. I'm thinking to myself, why aren't they pushing him more as this dastardly heel? Finn Balor confronts him, and they hype up their match next week, which is the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. It's obvious Seth's going to win. Now, they go to Pat McAfee. He's talking about his Super Bowl commercial. That was definitely more entertaining than the game because I don't even remember watching a commercial, and it was still more entertaining than that game. That was not a fun game to watch. They had Adam Pearce with AJ Styles backstage. He officially sets up the match next week. AJ then stares down Braun Breaker backstage. He's wearing a Nashville cowboy hat. War Raiders and American Made. You had the Creed brothers, who are American Made, getting themselves disqualified after using the titles as a weapon. And what annoyed me is you have the announcer saying, well, it's about proving a point. Proving a point what? You didn't get to win the tag team titles. Don't you want to win the tag belts? You just lost. You lost your opportunity. You lost the match. Stupid, but that's what they did here. You had Judgment Day backstage, Finn and Dom are arguing really much. You had Liv basically laying down on the couch, and you can see her wounds. It's bad, man. When you saw them yell at each other, you saw Finn and Dom yelling, and obviously Finn's going to be out of this group very soon. Then they see Liv walk up, and you see the camera right on her wound. It's nasty. It looks like she got punched right in the eye. It was a bad gash, I'm not going to lie. And she's basically still has blood smeared on her face. She probably thought it looked cool. I know she likes horror movies. I remember seeing her on a Chucky episode. She probably thinks all the blood's pretty cool. Anyway, I thought it added to the show. Liv was very good here. But Finn and Dom, I don't give a shit. I don't care about Judgment Day anymore. Since Priest is out, since Rhea's out, I don't care about this faction. I want it to end. Now, we go backstage, and Io Sky and Dakota Kai are happy that they won the match. They are, however, confronted by Rhea Ripley. Rhea says she wants to give Io a title shot, and it's official. In 3 weeks, they never announce matches 3 weeks from a show, but 3 weeks, the night after the Elimination Chamber, it will be Rhea Ripley defending the World Women's title against Io Sky. Okay, so Io's out of the chamber. She's not going to be in the chamber. That sucks. However, the one thing I'll say is they could do a triple threat at WrestleMania, which I'm not a fan of triple threats. I don't like them. But Io and Rhea in a triple threat, yeah, that can be really good because they're both good. As long as they have a third person who's actually competent, who can work a decent match, who's not Nia Jax, match can be okay. I don't know who's winning the chamber. I don't think it's Bayley. We'll have to see who else is in. But it's pretty obvious it's going to be Charlotte and Tiffany. It could be someone from SmackDown. I don't know. Don't think it'll be Liv. But we're going to have the remaining chamber qualifying matches. Unfortunately, they won't include Io Sky. I just hope she finds her way into a match at WrestleMania for a world title. CM Punk's out. Gets a good pop. He talks about Elimination Chamber. And then Logan Paul interrupts. So Logan did bring up SmackDown before the Royal Rumble. And he mentioned how Punk mocked Kevin Owens for losing to Logan Paul. I'm glad they brought that into it. And it was a good prelude because Logan Paul ended up eliminating CM Punk. If this is what we get down the road, we're not getting this at WrestleMania. It's not going to be Punk and Logan Paul. But I hope we can eventually get this match at a Backlash or maybe even a SummerSlam. I don't know if it'll be as big as that. But I hope we can get something there. I do not think for 1 second we're getting CM Punk and Logan Paul at WrestleMania, no. But we will get this match down the road. And it's good to just throw out an Easter egg right now for something that will happen later, even if it's post-WrestleMania. Anyway, it was basically Punk told Logan Paul you have to worry about 619, and Ray comes out, Punk and Ray embrace. And your main event's a Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. Who's going to win this? I wonder. Anyway, obviously Logan Paul wins. He gets the win, and he heads to the Elimination Chamber. Don't think he's winning at all, but he will be in the match. So that's how Raw ended. Not my favorite Raw, not the best show. I thought the first hour or so was really good. Last hour and a half, not so much. So that was tonight, and we are continuing our journey on the road to WrestleMania.